Hello, Acadiana, and welcome to the Veterans Corner. Thank you for inviting us back into your home today. I'm Greg Gagne, a veteran advocate, and I wish to thank the Louisiana Veteran Business Outreach Center and Acadiana Works for supporting this program. Now, the mission is to help veterans with employment by bringing employees and veterans together. And we do this by interviewing employers, nonprofit agencies, and veterans here on the Veterans Corner. So if you are a veteran or you know of a veteran, have them give me a call at 315-3259. And if you are an employee who wishes to participate on the Veterans Corner, just give me a call at 315-3259 as well. Now, this is a free service to everyone. So Acadiana, let's make a difference this year for our heroes. Now, on to the show. For my guest today, we have Mr. Clarence Hawkins. He is the State Director of the United States Department of Agriculture, and he's here today to share with us information about rural development. And Mr. Clarence, how you doing, my friend?
Greg, pleased to meet you and glad to be here. Thank you for providing us this opportunity.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. Well, look, tell me about some of the things that you guys do over there.
Well, rural development is a part of the United States Department of Agriculture that most people don't know. Most people think of USDA as being the group that stamps the meat. People know us, when they see that seal on the meat,
Yes.
they think everything is fine.
Yes.
But the United States Department of Agriculture deals with farming and it deals with a lot of things, but our organization deals with the quality of life kind of stuff. Stuff that gives people in rural Louisiana, in our case, the things that they need to stay in rural America. Everybody doesn't want to live in the city.
Right.
Some people like to live in small towns and farming areas, but they still need water and they need sewer and they need police protection. They need hospitals and schools and libraries. We can do all of that kinds of things because we have three basic different programs. We have three basic programs that provide housing for folks who live in rural America.
Okay.
Single family housing. You see a lot of apartments in rural America, and you see a sign on there that says USDA.
Right.
Well, we help sponsor those apartments for folks. We do, as I was talking about, police cars and schools. Our program is called community programs, where we can come in and a parish, let's say there's a rural area where people don't have water, and we can provide funding to a parish or a water district to put in a water system. If somebody wants to put in a sewer system, we can provide a loan or a loan grant for them to do that. We help parishes and cities buy police cars and fire trucks and all of the equipment that goes along with them. We build city halls. We make sure that the people in rural America have the same quality of life that everybody else does.
Okay. So basically, if a city or a parish wants to develop a certain project,
Yeah.
they would come to you and say, look, this is what we have, this is our business plan, what can you do to help us?
Absolutely.
Can you take us from step one to
To completion.
completion?
We have a motto in rural development: we can go from the ground to a town.
Okay.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, there are certain eligibilities that apply to us. We don't deal with cities and towns the size of Lafayette.
Okay.
Population is a criteria. It has to meet what we call a rural definition. We mainly deal with cities and towns under 10,000 in population. We can go to 20,000 in some cases and up to 50,000, but mainly for small rural communities. Parishes or unincorporated areas can take advantage of almost all of our programs. We built up in Marksville, Louisiana.
Okay.
We helped build a charter school up there. If anybody has gone through and seen a Vols Parish public charter school, that's rural development money that built that.
Okay.
There's a hotel across from the casino in Marksville that we provide financing for that project as well.
Okay.
When you drive along Highway 1 up in Marksville, you see that they're working on the water system. We're helping fund that. Some police cars that you see running around the communities, we provide funding for that as well. We want to be sure that folks who choose to live in rural Louisiana can stay there and have all of the amenities that they could have if they were in a big city. Now, we don't do gaming.
Okay.
We don't do gaming, and we don't do pure recreation.
Okay.
So nonprofit organizations, community-based groups, if they have public purpose and they're not religious in nature, one particular religion, we can help them with funds. We do loans and or grants.
When
Now,
you say loans, this is for the community loans, right? Or some type of grant, something like, not for individuals.
not for individuals. It has to be a municipality, a nonprofit, or a school, or a group of citizens who have community purpose, right?
Yeah, okay.
We're not like the guy who comes on TV with the question marks up there saying that you send me the money and I'll give you a grant. But, Greg, you know the interesting thing about it is this now. Governments get money from the citizens, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that comes in the form of taxes. April 15th is coming up.
yes, yeah.
And if you like me, I don't like to pay taxes.
No, I don't either.
But on the other hand, I want services. I want the government services. So I have to be careful and decide that I'm willing to pay taxes in proportion to the services that I want, or I want services based on the taxes that I'm willing to pay.
Yeah.
So when the government provides a grant opportunity for somebody, we have to be careful that we aren't just giving money away. So grants are designed to help groups, municipalities,
Okay.
with projects that they need that they can't get quite enough money for. So it's kind of a filler.
Okay.
Grants
Okay.
fill in. Let's say somebody wants to build a new town hall,
Okay.
and their tax base won't support the total cost of the town hall. So we might come in based on their income of that community and their population. We can say, well, you're eligible for this much grant to go along with the money that you're getting from taxes
Okay.
that you're going to pay.
Then I'm assuming that in the state of Louisiana, you're bombarded with many requests. Or is it because of lack of information maybe that people don't know about?
We outreach because a lot of folks don't know what we do. We have to go out and have sessions and thanks to you and people like you who make this venue possible for us to let people know what services are there so that they can come in. That's why our Congress people are there.
Yeah.
Bustani and Cassidy and Mary Landrieu, Vitera, and all the rest of them. They are there to represent the citizens. And if there are needs in this area, then they can help appropriate more money to help us serve those needs. But we are on a mission to let folks know that the services are available for those who legitimately need them,
Okay.
so that we can provide that. We're being good stewards of the public's money.
Right.
Because, and I'm getting philosophical here, but governments are designed to do for folks what they can't do for themselves.
Right.
Large groups of people, not
If
individuals,
they
as you
stay
said.
within that framework.
Right.
They start reaching outside of that, then it gets a little
Yeah,
complicated.
when people just want money from the government to support them individually, that's a problem, isn't it?
When you're talking about these grants to the various municipalities and so forth, when a grant is given, you don't necessarily give them all of the money up front.
No.
They have to, as through stages, come to
Absolutely.
you saying,
Right.
this is what we have done, so therefore you can kind of monitor.
Absolutely.
Because I know in the past, it has gotten crazy. People got the whole money and they did whatever they want with it.
No, that's not true. It's justified. People in this Lafayette office, and speaking of the Lafayette office, we deliver our services through 4 offices in the state of Louisiana. We have an area office here in Lafayette that serves about 16 parishes. We have an office in Natchitoches, Louisiana that serves parishes in that area, one in Monroe, Louisiana that services parishes over there, and one in Amite, Louisiana that services parishes in those areas. So once somebody makes an application, and you can make application by calling the area office, and we have about 11 people who work out of this office. They will come to you and send you the application and give you information on how to complete it, and you have to submit a plan. If it's a building, you have to do an architectural plan, an engineering plan. You have to do a financial feasibility, because if it's a loan, you got to show us that you have the capacity to pay that loan back. And in that financial feasibility, it also shows, well, they need this project. They have some financial capacity because they have taxes, or sales tax, or millage, but they need some other money. Well, they don't have the income in that community to make up the rest of this. So then we look at a grant
Okay.
that makes up the total package. Now, once they submit the application and we decide that it's a doable project, that they're eligible, they have the financial capacity and willingness to pay it back, and we obligate it and commit to making the loan grant package, then they set up their construction schedule and they can draw based on percentages of completion at
Yes.
various times.
Yes, yes.
We come out and look at that project to be sure that what you say you want the money for is really being done,
Yes.
and that it is a well-constructed project. Ricky Hewlin is an employee here in this office, and he's a construction analyst. He will come out and take a look at our projects to be sure that they're done right. Then they make those draws, and we go from there.
Mm-hmm.
So we are being good stewards of the government's money.
Okay.
I don't want my tax dollars misused, nor do you, nor
Yeah,
any citizen.
yeah,
We want them to be
yeah.
used for good
Well,
purposes.
I do know that when it comes to grants, the word grant says
Oh.
you don't pay it back.
Yeah,
But there are situations where maybe the municipalities will get bonds or whatever
Yeah.
that were able to pay it back.
right.
But if a municipality says not in a position to do that, and if you see where it's justified, then you may want to do a grant.
We can help.
And help them out.
Grant as part of the total package, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So grant money is available when there is a community or an entity that wants to do something that's legitimate, that serves public purpose. They don't have the capacity, nor they don't have the constituents. The income of that community isn't sufficient to do it, but it's needed. Then a grant will be there to match whatever else they're doing.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Clarence, this is going to end our first segment.
Okay.
I think we're doing pretty good so far.
Okay.
And we will be right back. Okay, we're back, and this is segment 2 with Mr. Hawkins, and let's continue our conversation.
Yeah, one of the things too, we talked about groups and individuals. One of our most popular programs is our housing program. We call it single family housing.
Okay.
Some people rent, and we have what we call multifamily housing apartments for folks who are starting out or who can't afford a home or whose credit is not there. So we have multifamily housing, and they're all over this area. But the typical American dream is for every person, the dream is that they want to own their own house.
Right.
We have a program that's called single family housing, and it's for low and very low income, and we have another program that's for moderate income people, that somebody can come in and get into a house for zero down and up to 30 or more years, almost up to 40 years to pay for it.
Okay.
It's a direct loan from the federal government, and they can buy a house in designated areas. The areas have to be rural in nature.
Okay.
And not, when I say rural, that doesn't mean in the boondocks, you're
Yeah,
still down in the
yeah.
swamp, but not in an incorporated area, not in a town that has a population that exceeds a particular number. And it's individual, so people need to call our office and talk to us and find out, so, well, I'm looking at buying a house. This is for building a house or for buying an existing house. I'm looking at a house up in Plaisance, and I'm wondering if that house is eligible for your loan.
Okay.
They say, yes, that Plaisance is eligible. Let us come and take a look at it, bring us some information about it, bring us some information about your income, and we'll send you the form for application, and we go through that process. Show your income, show how many people in your family, what size house you need. We'll inspect the house if it's already built, or show us your plans, and we will finance that home for you.
Well, that's good. That's good.
A second program for individuals who want to buy a house is called our Guaranteed Housing Program.
Well, look, before you go there, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah,
With the single-family dwelling,
yeah.
when you say buying a home, what type of home are you looking at? Not like no 235 homes. Huh?
I mean, if the brick house, it depends.
Say about 1,200 square feet, say
Up-
12
up-
to 1,500 square
Up
feet.
to 1,800 square feet,
1,800? That's not bad. That's not bad.
including mobile homes and prefab homes.
Okay. Because I think mobile homes
Mm-hmm.
give prefab homes a bad rep.
And you know, I
hate
use,
to say it like that.
when you talk to people in the industry, they have all kind of definitions. The
Yes.
modular homes and you think about the trailer and all this kind
Yeah.
of stuff. But there are standards that apply to those homes. So it's not something that's flimsy, because again now, with single family homes, this is the government making a loan to a person for a house. So we want to be sure that the mortgage that we're taking on this property, that property is worth something to satisfy that mortgage if something happens to it.
Now, is this through Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac?
No, it's through rural development.
Rural development. Fannie
Through
Mae
us.
doesn't it? The reason why I'm saying that
Yeah.
is that, of course, I did a VA loan.
Sure.
Okay. Then I refinanced
Sure.
recently, and my mortgagor said, you know, we can give you a better rate if you go conventional.
Okay.
Because the VA is requiring us to do some other points
Sure,
and everything
sure,
else.
sure.
And I said, okay, let's do it.
Okay.
I got a 3.6.
Sure, sure.
You know, from a 7.
Right. Hey,
Hey, that's a big hell of a.
that's a lot of savings.
And about last year or two, we got a letter saying we're now underneath Freddie Mae.
Wow.
And I'm saying, I wasn't aware of this. I thought I was working with you guys on an individual company, mortgage company, for all these years.
Right.
And just because I refinanced conventional, I'm under Freddie Mae, Freddie Mac, you know? And I said, well, yeah.
That's another
I
one
said,
of
why
those.
wasn't I told that? You
Right,
know?
right.
Well, of course, there might be some.
Now, you're a veteran, and veterans and Veteran Administration has fantastic programs, but veterans need to also look at us. And the good thing about the government and programs right now, it's kind of like going into Piccadilly or going into a cafeteria. You got a line, and you can go down the line, and you can pick go into a buffet. You have a choice of things. So veterans, non-veterans can take a look at our program. Veterans can take a look at our programs, look at the VA, look at Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and all the rest of those acronyms, and see which is the best program for you. It's individual, and some things work best for some folks, and other things for other folks. So,
Talking about a smorgasbord.
but absolutely,
But the only problem is, I have found out since being involved with the veterans and
yeah.
information don't always get out.
And
that is a major problem.
That's a major problem. And going back to the discussion we had in the first segment, my commitment when I was selected to come on board, this is a presidential appointment. The Obama administration appointed me to this. I was a mayor for 20 years in Bastrop, Louisiana, up in North Louisiana. And during that time, my small town had all kinds of needs. And this isn't condemning the organization, but there was very little outreach, very little opportunity for my citizens to know what rural development could offer them.
Yeah.
And my pledge is I'm working hard through venues like this, having meetings. We will come and have church meetings or community meetings or club meetings. We will come and present. Charlie Minix, who's the area director here, and his staff will come out. They could go out on Saturdays, on Sundays, at night. They come into communities to let people know about these programs. And because the program might not fit me, your circumstances might be different. So it's individualized. Even though we have some general rules and regulations, but the regulation that applies to me might not apply to you because my circumstances, my income, my family size might be different. The location where I want to build my house might be different from where you want to build. So people don't need to say, well, rural development is not the place to go because it takes too long, I can't get there, then so-and-so got, no, talk to them, talk to us, let us know.
Yeah.
But you're right, the big problem has been we have not been doing the best job in the world of getting out what it is that we do.
Yeah, because I do know that, I've mentioned it to you before, where veterans come to me and telling me, we don't even know you, we didn't even know you existed.
Doesn't that hurt?
And then you get them saying they went to a profit-making organization to get benefits.
And got
I'm
charged.
saying, here I am, I'm doing it for free, and you
Absolutely.
don't know nothing about it.
Right.
And I have they're doing a program called Tap Out of the Military, where people leaving,
Right.
and it's a good program.
Yeah.
But they offer so much information in a short amount of time, people can't digest all that.
Right, right.
So when they get out, they're not really thinking about that.
Right.
They got a good program. Don't get me wrong, it's a good
Sure,
program.
sure.
And we've been a part of it. But there's so much information that they have to digest that when they get out, they just kind of forget about it, and then come to me later.
Right, right. And it's one of those situations. It's kind of like when you get married. Oh, that might not be a good example. When you're buying a car, they give you all this paperwork, and they give you, well, you got this kind of warranty, you got that kind of warranty, you got this kind of warranty, and you hear all of it, but it doesn't have any meaning. So it's important every once in a while to go back and reread your warranty, and when different situations occur, call back. And my connection to that is when you're sitting up and you're thinking, you say, oh, we want to remodel our house. Let's call rural development. Let's call the VA and see if there's something there. Our community needs a water system. We need to do this. Call and ask. We getting paid every day. Our agency is.
Yes.
And we're here to serve. And we do not get upset when people call and ask questions. There are no stupid questions. There are no
Right.
stupid
No,
questions.
no.
Call and ask us, well, do y'all do this? Can I get help in doing this? And what we do is if we can't help, then we'll say, well, real development can't do that, but have you thought about the VA?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing. In dealing with, like for instance, right near my home,
Yeah,
we have about 100 acres that's being sold by a bank.
okay,
I'm assuming it was repossessed. And they're trying to sell it, of course. And it's been on the market for like about a year.
sure,
They tried to do development for different houses and stuff like that. And if I was to come to you with a program and say, look, let's see if we can develop this, this land here, then you could more or less work with the bank or maybe offer them credits or whatever you want to get involved with to give them, make it profitable for
Sure,
them to
sure,
work with us
sure.
and do that.
We work with developers. Let's say that there's a church that you're a member of, and this church forms a nonprofit organization, separate from the religious organization, but a nonprofit for community purposes, for housing and for. They can, once they're formed and are legitimate, they can come to us, and we have something called a site loan, SITE loan, where a piece of property that's undeveloped, somebody wants to develop it, we can make them the loan to go in and do the infrastructure, the streets and the sewer and the water and all that to make it suitable for then for somebody to come in and buy plots and build houses on there.
That's good then. That really, because
That speaks to what
in
you
other
let-
words,
it
I'm
can
looking
be
at
done.
you now. I don't want, but look, anyway, I think this is going to end our second
Sure.
segment. And I want to thank Mr. Hawkins for coming here today to share with us information. And I'm sure if I invite him again, he will come.
We'll come. One thing we ask is for individuals and for municipalities and organizations that are interested in our services, make a wish list. Pretend that it's Christmas time.
A
Make
bucket list, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a wish list of things that you'd like to see happen, and come and sit down and talk to us, and we'll say, well, we can help you with this, we can help you with that, or we can send you to another agency.
Okay.
This has been wonderful. I thank you so much for giving us this opportunity.
Okay, and that ends the show, so catch you later.
This is the end of the show, and I take this opportunity to thank the Louisiana Veteran Business Outreach Center and Acadiana Works and the AOC staff for allowing us the opportunity to present this program to you. So, thank you, and God bless.